Hot Springs Village Inside Out is a closer look at the greatness of Hot Springs Village, Arkansas and the surrounding areas. People, places, experiences. Hot Springs Village is one of the most beautiful places on earth. Join me, Randy Cantrell, and my co-host Dennis Simpson as we engage in weekly conversations to explore Hot Springs Village Inside Out. Today's show is brought to you by Central Arkansas's favorite radio station, KVRE. Find them on the dial at 92.9 FM. Stream them live at kvre.com. RE/MAX of Hot Springs Village. The award-winning RE/MAX of Hot Springs Village is the largest real estate office inside the village with over 30 full-time agents and support staff. Visit them to learn more about this beautiful place to solve your real estate needs. Call them today at 1-800-364-9007. Find them online at explorehsv.com. They are RE/MAX of Hot Springs Village at 1-800-364-9007 or online at explorehsv.com. Ike Eisenhower State Farm. Ike and his award-winning team have been serving the insurance needs of folks all around Hot Springs Village since 1998. Ike has qualified for State Farm's President's Club, Chairman's Circle, and Hot Springs Village Insurance Agent of the Year. Call Ike Eisenhower State Farm today at 501-984-4100. That's 501-984-4100. Find them online at ikeeisenhower.net. Call them today for all your insurance needs because, like a good neighbor, Ike Eisenhower State Farm is there.
Here again, well, I say again, with Mr. Stephen. We have never been together, have we, bud?
We have not. I've watched your show since you guys started it. I was one of the early converts to Hot Springs Village Inside Out. And so this is a first-time guest participation for me.
Well, and in an official capacity at that, and to add one more step to that, people, just for those of you listening and watching, he has gotten a life since the time that he watched all the Hot Springs Village episodes. He has now developed, you do have a life now, right?
I do.
You don't have to just sit around and watch Hot Springs Village Inside Out, right?
No, I have plenty of things to keep me busy.
Speaking of things to keep you busy, how about a Hot Springs Village Lakes cleanup? This is a great idea. How did this come about, Steve?
So Katie Harmon, who is the Hot Springs Village Lakes supervisor, she brought it up at our last Lakes Committee meeting. I happen to sit on the Hot Springs Village Lakes Committee. And basically what she's trying to do is, we've got this interesting celestial event coming up on the 8th of April that we're going to be right underneath. And so she's trying to get some volunteers in place to just do a general lakes cleanup. Not on just, all of our lakes. A lot of people don't realize we have 11 recreational lakes. Some will tell you we have 10 and one very large pond. But we do actually have 11 recreational lakes, and so she wanted to get an effort and give folks the opportunity before this event, because we expect there's going to be a lot of people out on the lakes on the 8th of April for these eclipses, because it's going to be a great place to view it as long as Mother Nature gives us the right weather.
Sunny skies as it were.
It could be a day like today, and it's just going to be a cloudy, dark day. So, but hopefully Mother Nature will cooperate and we'll get a nice bluebird sky day. And but we expect a lot of people on the lakes, and so what Katie wanted to do, and her team is going to help coordinate this, is have a cleanup, a volunteer cleanup for all of our lakes. And so what they're going to do is set up. I think it's between 8:30 and 11:30. On Monday, April the 1st. We're hoping Mother Nature cooperates on that day as well. And that's the deal with this outside stuff. Mother Nature's not always in sync with what we would like her to do. But
You thought you
it
were going to
all
play. You thought you were going to play golf today, right? No, no.
exactly. So, but so at each one of the boat ramps of our, in her flyer, she says 10 boat ramps because on what I affectionately refer to as the Great Pond Segovia, we really don't have a boat ramp. There's a road, a dirt road that goes in there, and there's a place you can take your truck. I go over there about twice a month to do lake readings on Segovia. And so you can launch a kayak from that area. And I think for Segovia, she's asking if somebody wants to participate in an event on Segovia to do a direct call to the Lakes Management Office. And the number, I don't have it. Can you scroll down on the bottom of this?
Oh, sure.
Or
I'm
can
happy
I?
to. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll make sure people have the number to call Katie Harmon at 501-226-9247, and just let her know that you want to, you're interested in getting a kayak out on Lake Segovia and help do some cleanup. I will tell you, I'm on Segovia a lot, and that I have a special affection in my heart for that little lake. But it's
First
actually
lake
pretty
in the
clear.
village. The
And
first lake in the
tell you
village.
what, Dennis, it's one of the clearest lakes in the village, and people
Is it
don't understand
really?
it. It's got a grass. It's not as clear as Balboa, but it's got a grass base to it, and that grass serves as a filter, and so the clarity there is very good for a small lake, especially.
So I'm sorry. So maybe I shouldn't have sold my 7 acres that I had that surrounds Lake Segovia. Maybe are you saying I should regret something?
Yeah, it's just like I said, it's a hard lake to get to because you've got the townhomes there on the southern shore, and you've got a few single family homes on the I think that's the southern shore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but
you do.
But it's a great little lake, great place to fish. There's
the vast majority of the people in the village couldn't tell you where Segovia is.
I had to have the previous Lakes Committee chair take me over there so I could find it. So, but anyway, so back to the event. So, what the Lakes Committee is going to, or not the Lakes Committee, the Lakes Management staff, they're going to set up sign-up sheets. They're going to set up some trash bags, some pickup things. So if people want to volunteer and show up at the boat ramps that morning at 8:30, you can just sign in. There'll be some disposable gloves and ready, and just basically go into not so much people's property, personal property, because most of our lakes are actually on the shoreline is someone else's property. It's personal property, private property. But we've got areas like the dams. There's some common property areas, especially there around the beach there at Lake Balboa. And so just spend a few hours going through there and looking for and picking up trash. Our waters here are in our properties here. Trash is not a big problem, but you want to do a good pickup because we know there's going to be a lot of people with guests in the village on the eclipse, so we like things to look as good as we can. And it's it's spring. The weather hopefully will be nice, and it'll be an opportunity for people to get out, enjoy the weather, and pick up some stuff around our lakes.
Well, that's true, but I also noticed Katie has a great point here. Dress for the water, not the weather, because you're going to be getting wet. Is that right?
You can, and if anybody knows, I go out on the lake a lot, and we typically go out at night just because in the middle of the summer here, you know how hot it is. But I will tell you, when you get out on the water, the temperature is. You live on the lake on DeSoto, so you know what it is. When you get on the lake, temperature is a little cooler. You get a breeze blowing up there, so you really and if you're exposed, if it's a real sunny day, you want to make sure you have. I don't wear a lot of sunscreen. I wear long sleeves just to cover my arms and long pants just to keep protection from the sun. So, I think that's what she means when she says dress for the water, not the weather.
Well, I find it interesting. So Diane and I were in Belize this last year, and you see all the Belizean people, and they're going to go out and work on the boat all day, and they are covered from wrist to neck to ankle, and and I'm like, well, that's got to be hot. Oh yeah, but you would be burned to a crisp with the sun. So yeah, it's a good idea to look at that. Now, what will we be collecting? So fill me up here and here.
Basically just general trash things like water bottles. I think she's put water bottles, cans, pieces of styrofoam. You'll see pool noodles. One of the things that you notice around here, right if we have a lot of wind or a storm comes through, people have stuff sitting out on their docks or in their or on their seawalls, and they're not locked down. Well, they get in the water, and of course, the wind. Once they get in the water, the wind just whichever direction the wind is blowing, that's the direction that stuff is going to be at. So, but just general trash. What she's not looking for? If you remember, Matt, last May when we had our what was it, 8 inches of rain in about 24 hours. We had a lot of flooding in the village. And of course, there was actually a group on Lake Cortez, a shoreliners group over there that got together, and they were trying to pick up a lot of wood and logs and things like that. This is not that. This is really just sort of a general, litter, trash pickup kind of thing. And stuff you can pick up, put in a trash bag, and then the lakes management team is going to have barrels placed at each one of the boat ramp. You can just put your trash bags full of whatever you collected there, and then they'll arrange with probably Todd's folks out of the sanitation office to come pick that stuff up, or maybe the lakes management folks may do it in their trucks. So.
And if you have any questions, and I want to make note here, we want to see the pictures, but email kharmon@hsvpoa.org or 501-226-9247 for any questions or filling in here. And as I know, as the president of the Town Homeowners Association, I know what the chairman of the Lakes Committee makes, and our salaries are commensurate, my friend. I'm pretty sure, right?
It's the same amount of pay with a lot more work.
You know what? I think they could double our salary and we still wouldn't make anything, right?
Yeah, but it's a labor of love. It's good stuff.
It is. And sincerely, buddy, we appreciate what you do for the village and how you contribute. This is going to be a great idea. Monday, 8:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m., April the 1st. No fooling. See what I did there?
That was very good.
We're gonna have these pulled up. Actually, hang on. I need to look at something here real quick. We need a publish date. Boy, I'm going to have to put this out like now. Yeah, we'll publish this shortly, or we may even do a special publish date for this. This is such an important deal. And you think, well, okay, which lake? Well, it's easiest to do the lake near you, right? That makes sense.
Absolutely. But, if you want, we've got, if you think of the lakes in the village, we've got the big lakes, which is Balboa, Coronado, Cortez, and DeSoto. I'm doing this from memory, by the way. Then you've got the smaller lakes on the eastern side of the village. I call them the newer lakes, but they're the Maria, Sophia, Estrella, Isabella. I think I got them all. I'll leave somebody's lake out, Isabella. But anyway, there's, like I said, we've got 10 of them or 11 of them here in the village, and whichever one is closest to you, that's the one I would go to. I'm going to Balboa because I could walk out my back door and get in my boat and drive right over to the boat ramp. And
I'm there with you. And for what it's worth, you talk about debris flowing down the lake. After Memorial Day weekend, July the 4th weekend, Labor Day weekend, Monday morning, Tuesday morning, there's noodles just floating down the lake. And they don't do any environmental damage, but you want it to look nice for your guest, right? You don't want it going over the dam and being blown around or whatever. So great idea. And if we need anybody to complain to, we just contact you, Steve, with the committee of the chair. Is that right?
Sure. We take, we do have I'll plug our website. One of the things, the Explore the Village is a good website, but the Lakes Committee, a year and a half ago, wanted to have our own thing where we could actually publish timely information and get information out.
Mr. Ken Gazelle made that for you, who's a buddy of mine.
Ken has done a phenomenal job with this site, and so we do weekly lakes readings. We post those on the site. I've also started posting those on some of the social media, some of the more popular, densely populated social media sites here. But this is an opportunity for us to get. One of the things that I wanted to do when I got on the Lakes Committee was improve how effectively we communicate to our fellow villagers, because we have these phenomenal lakes, and there's just a lot of information on those lakes that people don't have. And so this was the website was our first attempt to improve on that communications. We're starting to get into the social media posts on some of the information. that's when you hop into the world, as you well know, when you hop into the world of social media, that could be a very scary prospect. So we're easing into it a little bit at it. We're dipping our toe in the water. But yeah, that's just we really want to improve how well we communicate about our lakes to our fellow villagers. And this website,
really have.
Ken's done a great job on this website. So
It is. It's great. And we've been needing this for years and years, but you have to communicate with people over and over. And people say, well, we had it on the website. We had it. No, you have to you have to keep telling them and keep telling them and keep telling them. For example, and I'm going to click on a button here, the fishing survey. And I know this is a huge, huge, huge issue for a lot of people. There's a Martian spacecraft out here on the outside of my lake. What is going on? And it's a boat that we have that has a lot of lights. It locally and very low charge, very low power, gently electrocutes the fish. They float up and we take a survey, right?
that is correct.
And it's fascinating.
Oh, it is. And the amount of effort, and the team literally comes in after sunset. So they're working extremely long days when they do. We're probably just a couple of weeks away from doing the 2024 spring survey. They try to do the timing on that is based on water temperature. They want to do it right.
To ask you.
Yeah, it's right. We're close now. They're shooting for it says here on her 55 to 70. We're already into the 60s on most of our lakes right now. They slowed down a little bit with this last cold water spell. But anyway, they go out at night and they go to every lake, all 11 lakes, except for our reservoir that we get our drinking water from. And they do a very detailed survey. This year will be our second one that we've done in quite a while. But when we got through the pandemic, everything kind of came to a screeching halt. So we really need about 2 more years worth of these surveys to really get a good trend established on our what's going on with our fish populations in the lake. Your comment about the spaceship is pretty funny, because they actually, before the team goes out and actually does a survey on a particular lake, they actually call the Hot Springs Village dispatcher to let them know what time and where they're going to be, because you get all sorts of phone calls from people saying, oh gosh, there's this thing with these big bright lights sitting out on my lake and something's not right. And happens every year.
Of all the places the aliens would land, they decided on Lake Sophia in the middle of Hot Springs Village, Arkansas, right? Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Well, no, and I want to go back to this just for a sec. This is such a great resource. I don't want to, let me see if I need to. Yeah, there we go. hsvlakes.com, hsvlakes.com. The dredge report, the electro fishing survey, lake life pictures, lake symposiums. I mean, really, there's a ton of information here. Ken's kind of overdone himself, if you know what I mean.
He does. And we get a lot of queries. We get a lot of queries on the site, people who just have, questions. Sometime last year, somebody said, hey, what's the water temperature now? And that was when we started thinking that was because they were trying to plan on when their grandkids were going to come to visit, and they wanted to be able to get out on the lake and pull them on an inner tube. And so for that individual, lake temperature was important. They wanted to know what time of year it was going to get, with the temperatures get into the high 70s. And so that's just an example of the type of questions that we need to be there to answer that question. And so that's kind of what this is intended to do.
And I want to address a misunderstanding that I guarantee is already in somebody's mind. Well, Dennis lives on the lake. Steve lives on the lake. So you got to be on the lake to be on the Lakes Committee, or you got to be on the, correct that, would you?
Absolutely. That is not the case. As a matter of fact, we have at least one committee member right now who does not live on the lake. When we interview for new applicants, that is not a criteria at all. It's not any sort of a criteria, not a screening or an evaluation criteria. It is not what you just have to be interested in serving on the Lakes Committee. And I live on Lake Balboa, but I take lake readings on Segovia, and I think the only lake that I have not been on so far is yours, Dennis. I've not been on DeSoto, so
you are missing something, my friend. Missing something.
I've been to DeSoto. I've just never been on a boat on DeSoto.
We throw the best parties. Hang on. I'm going to take the cover off my boat this weekend, okay? So we can be ready for Easter. People up north, do you hear that? Do you hear that? We're going to be on. People have been out here for weeks now.
Well, I won't have a debate about parties on the lake because we have some pretty good ones on Lake Balboa as well.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I'll give you part of that. You and your admiral, y'all get the awards.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, we're going to have to come back around. Stephen, you come back around and visit with us.
Thanks, Dennis. I would love to.
Man, we would love to have you back. For Hot Springs Village Inside Out, I'm Dennis Simpson. He's Stephen Fitzgerald, and we will see you next time.
Thanks for watching and listening to Hot Springs Village Inside Out, a weekly podcast starring Hot Springs Village, Arkansas. Visit the website at hotspringsvillageinsideout.com.